Hey, look, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. That's an old saying, but it's true, and that is no way to build a successful life. Gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Hey, bro, what do you stand for? Look, I'm not asking what your job title is. I'm not asking what you own. But what are your principles that guide your decision makings and define who you are? Because look, man, without foundational values, life is going to just feel like a bunch of random events. And success, that feels like a distant dream sometimes. Today, we're going to be talking about how to identify your core values, align your life with them, and use them as the foundation to build success for yourself. Now, look, bro, you don't have to define success, but look, by the end of this episode, you'll have all the tools you need to take charge of your life and the direction it's going, and make sure it's going in a truly meaningful way. So, let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. I want to welcome you to the Legacy Gentleman channel. On this channel, every day, I talk about the values, skills, and works that'll be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. And man, when we live those values, we serve be legacy gentlemen. And look, here's the reality. If you do not have clear values, your life is going to be messy. You'll end up making impulsive decisions, chasing things that don't fulfill you, and wondering why nothing seems to click. Look, it's like navigating a road trip without a map or clear direction to where you're going. Yeah, you're moving, but are you headed in the right direction? And when you hit this fork in the road, will you have any idea of which way to turn? See, living without defined value means you constantly react to life instead of creating a path that is meaningful for you. And trust me, gentlemen, that's not the way to achieve meaningful success. The good news is you have a way to fix it by setting your foundational values. So what are foundational values? These are the core principles that define what matters to you most and how you choose to live your life. They are the moral compass that guides you when things get tough and the filter through which you make decisions. For example, if integrity is one of your values, it means that you choose to be honest even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. If discipline is one of your core values, that means you stick to your commitments, even when your motivation fails. Foundational values provide clarity, consistency, and a sense of purpose. They are the difference between wandering aimlessly and building a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. So let me tell you about a moment that solidified my values. If you haven't heard it before, I'm a born-again Christian. I believe that Christ is King, and I live my life based on a biblical worldview. Early in my career, I faced a tough decision. See, there was a shortcut present, and one of the things that all it required me to do was to lie and throw someone else under the bus. Honesty and fairness is part of what being a Christian is. See, I was presented with a shortcut. All it calls for me to do was to throw away those principles of honesty and integrity away. I would be answerable to God, but as we all know, God forgives you. But that's not the way I decided to take it. See, instead I chose the harder route, staying true to my principles and my faith, and in the long term admit that the work was hard and challenging. I took blame when it was my fault, and I had a really big learning curve. There were people that were better than me, and I actually had to work for stuff that came naturally to them that I had to just bust my butt to get up even with them. But you know what? That was fine to me because I held on to that thing that's important to me, my integrity, and me going before my God and knowing that I was, justified, at least in this thing. Is there a lesson there? Well, look, when your actions align with your values, you not only feel confident in your chances, but you also set yourself up for success for the long term. See, this is a character thing. Everyone understood my character. They understood I wasn't going to take shortcuts. I wasn't going to throw people under the bus. And I have never lied to a boss of mine. And all my bosses understand that. And even when there was sometimes my performance was lacking behind other people, they looked at me and they said, he's loyal, he's honest, and we'll get him the training he needs so that he can be a top performer. So guys, let's talk about how to find your core values. It's simpler than you think, but it doesn't require some introspective. Here's how you get started. First thing I want you to do is to reflect on your past decisions. Think about the times when you felt proud or disappointed in yourself. What were the values that you were honoring or ignoring? Next, I want you to identify your proudest moment. What made you feel good about yourself? What principles were in play? Was it kindness? Was it hard work? Was it loyalty? Really think about it. Another thing you can do is look at the people who you admire. What were their values that they embodied and what resonated with you? Was it their integrity? Was it their courage? Was it their discipline? And start shaping those things in yourself. And really, guys, you gotta narrow it down. Make a list of only about 3 to 5 values, and you wanna make sure that they are non-negotiable to you. Look, guys, your values, it's really like a filter. And if something doesn't align with them, it doesn't belong in your life. And once you know that your values and your decision makings become a whole lot easier. Look, your values should act like a filter. If something doesn't align with them, then it doesn't belong in your life. And once you know your values, decision making really does become easier. Now, the first step was to identify those values. Now, step 2, a little bit more challenging, but it's to live by them. Next, you need to make decisions based on principles. Not convenience, but principles. Look, it's easy to take shortcuts. Life invites you to take shortcuts. People want you to take shortcuts so that you'll be less. But the long-term success comes when you stay true to your values. The last thing I want you to do is surround yourself with the right people. Choose friends, especially mentors, in an environment that support your values instead of challenging them. Yeah, think of your values as the foundation of a house. If your foundation is strong, everything built on top of it will stand tall no matter how rough the storms get. There's an old saying that you will become the 5 people you hang out with the most, and sometimes that's true, sometimes that's not. But I really think it's more accurate to say it's the 5 people you admire the most and that you set out to shape your life with. So surround yourself with those people. Gentlemen, here's the bottom line. True success, it's not about the stuff you achieve. It's about who you become in the journey to achieve it, so that even if that achievement you had falls apart somehow, you became a person that can achieve it. And once you're that person, you can replicate it in some other place. It'll be your blueprint for the journey of your life. So look, guys, take time to identify what matters to you most. Align your goals and your decisions and your actions with those values. And remember, success is built on a strong foundation. It isn't just about rewarding, it's about being unshakable. Take time to identify what matters most to you. Align your goals and your decisions and your actions with those values. Because look, guys, you gotta remember, success built on a strong foundation isn't just rewarding, it's unshakable. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about reaching some goals. It's not about reaching the top. It's about standing tall, knowing that you built your life on a foundation of principles that truly matter to you and that's going to truly change the world. So man, until next time, stay grounded, stay focused, keep building toward what you want, and go be legendary.